Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made-up word.
Book of Fett. Book of Fett. Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett.
Not bad.
I'll take it. It was simple, like me.
Yeah.
Simple, man.
I'll take it.
I'll take it too. Well, you know what? Welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we are two 30 to 40-something-year-olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And you guys, if you want to be a part of things that are going on, join the Discord. We've got links in the show notes down below us. Lots of good conversation happening down there about not just the things that we're talking about tonight, but things that we haven't even talked about on the show. So you guys check it out. Lots of fun conversations. And if you want to hang out with us live and in person, we also stream playing video games live on the Twitch. Chris over there plays as Guyver Unit 01, GUYVERUNT 01. And I am KSIG on Twitch, K_SIG. Play every Friday and Saturday night. You guys come check it out, hang out. It's pretty good times. It's really good times. So you can come make fun of us while we shittily play video games.
So speaking of below, who's below us?
We got Mr. BRob.
Mr. BRob's back. Mr. BRob is back.
Never again.
Welcome to the show, sir. You think that, but you're our friend and you can't get away. We've told you this. So welcome back to the show, sir. What you been up to?
Little work, little travel, getting the kids started in sports. So baseball and softball are upon us. So, and then of course finishing up the Book of Boba Fett.
Woohoo!
Boba Fett.
So we will tell you, if you guys hear, I will, full disclosure, if you guys hear a little bit of background noise, BRob is in the transition of moving into a new house. And they are someplace where he can't exactly get any privacy.
Aw.
So there might be some background noise. Forgive us. You guys have heard much, much worse with us dealing with. This will be episode 80.
Ooh. Big 80.
So
We're 20 as you.
Almost, not quite. What?
Yeah.
Mortimer!
80. Big year for Guyver. That's when he got his driver's license. So
That is.
yeah, big year for Chris. Big year for Chris.
Big year for Chris. When I graduated college, 80. So the way it looks like Luke's pissing on your head.
Yeah, the angle of this could have been better.
No, it works. So
that doesn't make it any better. I mean,
no, but you know what? Just take your shower and like it. So, just rub it in. So, first, let's start off of our listener of the week. Kyle, who's our listener of the week?
Our listener of the week is very active in helping me and Chris both keep our massive Twitch communities in line whenever we stream together. It's Miss Promian.
All five people who watch me.
All five people. She's a super mod. She's done a really good job of banning hot Pringles. And
lots of hot Pringles.
Lots of hot Pringles in the area and keeping things in line. Prom's great. Just
we love her. She's our last unicorn. I love her so much.
Yep. And also streams.
And she does stream, so make sure you follow her.
Yep, we can throw a link to that down the.
We will throw a link down
in the notes below. So yeah, give Miss Prom a follow. Awesome person, good person.
She's amazing, and found out tonight. I was in her stream. She actually she's watched every single one of our episodes on YouTube, and then she promoted us. Yeah, you can do better, Prom.
You can do better than us, Prom.
The fact that she still talks to you is amazing to me.
I know.
We pay her.
Yep, I didn't even have to ask her to help mod the channels. She's just like, give me the swords. Like, got it.
Got it. So, Prom, thank you very much. We salute you. So we're talking about Book of Boba Fett today, specifically chapter 7. Or book, I guess it would be book 7. Or do they call it chapter?
I think they called it chapter.
Chapter.
So chapter 7. The final episode, and I will start it off by saying I loved this episode. I thought it was very well done. It was a great conclusion. And it opened up a lot of possibilities for the universe in general. When I mean the universe, the television, comics, books, movies, there's a lot of possibilities that could happen from it. So pretty exciting. So I mean, BRob, what did you think of? Let's start what you thought of the last episode, and then what you thought of the series as a whole.
To take some phrasing from one of my favorite movies and change it up a little bit, I wasn't underwhelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just whelmed.
You're whelmed.
I was whelmed. Yeah, it wasn't what I had hoped, but I don't know if it truly could have been because I'm such a Boba Fett fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally see how it sets up a lot of really good things to come.
Right.
It's kind of the feeling I've caught from a lot of self-proclaimed Boba Fett fans that it was like they wanted more, especially more Boba Fett. He kind of had a guest role in the last half of the series. It seemed like
it was great. He made a guest appearance.
But one thing I think that is awesome is that like we got this much of Boba Fett when like movie screen time. I think he had a total of 6 minutes of total screen time in the movie and like 3 lines. And like this much fandom is built off of that. I mean, he got roles later in the others, or no. But just like limited screen time to get this much of him.
What was it? He's no good to me dead.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Yeah.
What was the third one?
You can count that one.
You remember, BRob? I think it might have only been 2.
May have only been 2.
Boba got a bad. He got the bum end.
But go ahead.
No, I was just saying he did get to hold up his gun when Leia came into Jabba's palace. We shot a shot of him, but he didn't say anything.
I almost think that this series did him a disservice, where I felt like the Clone Wars helped his character and built upon it. I don't want to say this made him look soft because it built so much gave us a lot of backstory, gave us what we needed.
Right.
But this having such a short season, putting that many characters that you're trying to put emphasis on so you can do spinoffs was pretty obvious.
Right.
But yeah, this wasn't the Book of Boba Fett. This was the book of people who know Boba Fett.
Oh, I'll go with that.
And I think we kind of talked about it a little bit in the last episode, where I was trying to figure out where it fit in with everything with the series. Like it's a standalone thing, but it really felt like a entry into the Mandalorian. Like you have, like, I think, and not doing this to like knock his screen time, but I think it could have been, it's like a sub whatever of the Mandalorian. It's like you had Mandalorian, you had the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, and then our next Mandalorian season coming up. That's kind of how it felt.
So like you're saying it's all pushing.
Yeah, it's all pushing for it's all supporting the Mandalorian story as much, if not more, than it was telling additional or giving more detail into what Bubba's been up to since he fell in the hole. So
right.
Which is actually a great transition into our next part, but we're going to do a quick retract. I was wrong last episode on the Luke part. Shocker. What else is new? So it was an actor who was doing Luke's movements, but he was CG'd. But the guy, if you go look at him, the guy does look like a young Mark Hamill too, though.
Well, I think it wasn't Mark Hamill quoted as saying that he looks more like Luke Skywalker than he looks like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I wish they would just pull the trigger and let Sebastian Stan do it.
Yes. Or let Sebastian Stan talk to his wiener, have an argument with it.
Yeah, I'll never look at the Winter Soldier the same again.
I will never, ever again either.
Or Cinderella.
Kyle, you haven't seen any of that, have you? The what is it? The Tommy or Pamela and Tommy?
Pam and Tommy.
Pam and Tommy.
God, no, I was wanting to watch that.
He talks to his wiener. There's a lot of prosthetics on there.
Is there?
Yes, because he bitched about having a prosthetic put on at like 4 a.m. for like 3 hours.
Well, I mean, that boat ain't going to drive itself, so.
No, or talk to itself. So, which is it's a great series so far. I really like it.
Oh, I'm gonna say I was wrong. Boba had 4 lines.
What were they?
So I'm trying to find the actual lines.
He's no good to me, Dad.
And I can't find them.
All right, you're dead to us. The transition.
Don't lose any more hair over it.
I'll try not to.
Too late.
I know.
So the transition. Was it 2016? Parks and Rec, Patton Oswalt called What Happened to Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish I had that. Let me see if I can find that whole speech. What was...
How fucking nuts was that, though? Like, BRob, did you ever watch Parks and Rec?
Hit or miss.
Hit or miss. Did you ever see that part?
I did not.
Okay, so make sure you look that up. It's actually brilliant.
It was a town hall.
Yeah, because he was doing a filibuster.
Yeah, and he was like one of the citizens, and so this whole scene was completely improv of what he said. And he was like up at the podium trying to delay whatever was talking, and he basically said he just kind of pulled this out of his ass. He said, imagine this: you pan down from the twin sons of Tatooine. We are now closed on the mouth of the Sarlacc pit. After a beat, the gloved Mandalorian armor gauntlet of Boba Fett grabs onto the sand outside the Sarlacc pit, and the feared bounty hunter pulls himself from the maw of the sand beast, and we realize that he survived his fall during the battle at Jabba's palace ship.
Which is nuts. It's like the same reason I'm watching The Simpsons right now to see what's going to happen this year and next year is why I'm rewatching the old Simpsons episodes to find out exactly what's going to happen this year.
Yeah. Damn gypsies.
Gypsies.
Their truth tellings.
But it was just a weird coincidence that this happened. I just thought it was a really cool little fact, though. So, Book of Boba Fett, let's talk about it. 3 episodes directed by Robert Rodriguez. A couple of the Star Wars groups I'm in, nothing but hate for his episodes, which I didn't hate him. I liked the episodes he directed on The Mandalorian. I don't know why there's such hate. I mean, I think maybe because it's slower pacing than The Mandalorian was. But this is telling like a whole backstory. Like, how many years was it that Boba was with the Tusken Raiders? Did it ever say?
We tried to figure that out, and it was a long time. I don't, we kind of talked about that too. It seemed like just like on screen at first first quick watch or whatever.
Like 3 episodes?
Like 3 episodes, like a few weeks maybe, but I really think he was there for at minimum a year, minimum 1 year, if not longer. I don't know if there's ever any like official statement of how long he was there.
We did find out how old Cad Bane was, though.
Mm-hmm.
You remember, BRob?
I remember them. No, I do not.
71. And found out his species. He was actually really old for what was the species again? Started with a D. Why can't I think of it? I want to say durian, but that's wrong. Duros.
Doros, yeah.
Doros. They live between 70 to 80 years old. And 80 is like ancient.
So for how long Boba was there, there's no real definitive time frame. I mean, the common thing right now is kind of like 5 years because in season 4, when he goes back and they're getting ready to go try to get his armor back, like he looks down in the hole And he's like, the Sarlacc pit, that's where I was trapped all those years ago. And so that was directly after leaving the Tuscans. So that would have, or was it directly after? Yeah. And so he could have been with him for years and years.
It was longer than a couple weeks, that's for
Yeah.
sure. So what did you guys think about the backstory there? Like, let's start with BRob. What do you think about the pacing of that, the whole backstory? Do you think that could have been cut down? Like, what's your honest opinion of it?
No, I mean, I think it was adequate. I don't think that's my issue with the series. It's just that, because I think you needed to do it. Well, I'll take that back. If you're going to make it about Boba Fett, you needed to do it. If you're going to do what you did, no, you could have definitely cut it down. Because other than seeing him train with the Tuscan weapon, and getting the backstory of him making it and all that, I mean, that played in later, but the rest of it you probably could have cut.
Yeah. Although I will tell you, I did find it interesting. We saw more of the creatures that live there, like the little arm creature. And I've always wondered how they got the Tuscan Raiders, how they got their water. So that was really cool to find out, because they weren't moisture farmers like Uncle Owen.
Yeah, they did a good job of giving us answers to questions we didn't know we wanted to ask.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a great way of putting it, actually.
We got, a lot more backstory on the Tuscans. We got some more story on the cities on Tatooine and like how that all worked out. It was slower. It still had that, that kind of Western feel to it, like how the Mando series had, had this kind of space, like literal space Western feeling to it. I did like getting to see some of the backstory of, like I said, all these creatures and things that we didn't know, and some of the deeper inner workings and stuff. It was definitely could have been more of Boba. But I will say, like, I liked him better when he kept his helmet on and he was doing Boba stuff. And because he's Boba Fett, just in general, and that goes back to just saying like how few, lines he actually had in the original. He's not the greatest orator. Like, the spoken word is not Boba's strong suit. Yeah.
No.
And so it did seem a little awkward at times and a little forced in the dialogue and stuff at times. But when he has the helmet on, he's badass. He has the helmet off, he seems a little awkward. And I don't know if that's Morrison's acting or if that's Boba as a character who's never really dealt with anybody other than people that are going to pay him to go kill somebody. I don't know, but... I do like that it answered a lot of questions that we didn't know that we wanted to ask.
He did argue with the powers that be that he's like, I've got way too many lines. Boba should not. To me, that shows a deeper understanding of the character.
Mm-hmm.
And if at the point he was arguing with him, Boba has too many lines. He's supposed to be a guy of action. He's the most feared bounty hunter in the universe at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just sitting here chit-chatting. So to me, that shows a lot of character on his part, and like I said, a lot of understanding of the Boba Fett character. Because Boba Fett's a badass, he really is.
But he
I want to ask this. I was going to wait, but I know I'll forget if I don't do it now. So, in your mind, what three characters came off the best and are pushed forward the best to further not only their character but the universe from this series?
Kyle, you want to start, or do you need a minute?
I've got 3, and then I've got 1 sleeper.
Go.
So I think, and they're pretty obvious, is going to be Mando, Grogu, and Ahsoka. Like, I think this really is going to push because we know that she's getting her own series coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was, Mando and Grogu are like, it's pretty obvious, like they're getting pushed forward. Like it's there with with Grogu going the way of the Mandalorian, and now their buddy cop adventures are taking off in their little bitty spaceship. There is an issue I have with that, but also, getting her some screen time, and showing her drawing similarities between Luke and Anakin as she knew him. And, she made a couple of comments throughout there. And so I think those three, their stories are going. This really helped push those. I mean, I think the series itself is really pushing the Mandalorian story more, but those are going through that. And then my sleeper that just is obvious if you watched everything all the way through that is going to get pushed forward is going to be really interesting is Cobb Vanth. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with him, because that is something new to us, right? And we've seen him before, but just kind of we didn't get a lot of him, and we got some good stuff from him from this episode. So I think if there's going to be more stuff happening on Tatooine, it's going to probably be more Cobb Vanth than it will be Boba.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope so, because he's a really cool character.
He's a badass, and I'll explain that more later too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for me, the question was who it's really pushing forward in the universe. So I would say you have to say Mando.
Yeah.
You have to, because it's a whole play on that, on the Mandalorian. I think Fennec Shan was really pushed in this a lot to show just how amazing she is. And now she's, part droid.
Mm-hmm.
She's the best sniper in the universe. As much as I want to say Boba, I mean, I think it did, but it didn't.
They could end his story there. I mean,
they could.
Left it, I don't think they won't. I don't think I really doubt he'll get another season, but I think we'll see something in Mando or one of these other spinoffs that'll tie his story up after he meets a live action Omega.
Right.
That's going to
Then I'm in between Amy Sedaris's character, because they gave her a huge push, and so it carried over from the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And they gave her a shit ton more screen time on this. Like
she was great.
Faster hits the droid.
She was freaking
I
great.
love that part. She was great. I'm in between her and honestly, Cobb Vanth, because I want to, as much as I want to say Ahsoka, they didn't really give her that much of a push. They showed her a little bit, but I think that they pushed those other two a lot more. And the reason for Cobb Vanth is I think this is going to lead into Rangers of the New Republic. I think he's going to be the leader of it. Let's talk about Cobb Vanth here after BRob goes, because I've got a theory on him too. But yeah, that's who I'd pick. BRob, who do you have?
So my number one was Fennec.
Yep.
I definitely think they positioned her in all her awesomeness. Just in, when she went out and took out everybody there in the last episode. I mean,
God, that was awesome.
Yeah, that could have easily been Boba or Mando.
Right. And
then they chose her to do it. She was my number one. Number two is Grogu. Because, and it went back to, Luke referencing his first student, Kylo being his first student. So you kind of knew that Grogu was going to pick Mando.
Right.
But I really think him wearing the Beskar armor, I think it really pushes him forward. And then my third one's Cad Bane. Everybody was so excited, and they did such a good job.
Oh, I love Cad.
And his red light was still on.
Uh-huh. Oh, 100%.
So
he's not dead.
There's no way.
We actually talked about this in the last episode, like how he's just tough as nails. Like, he was 71. He was ancient for his species, and he was still taking out people left and right.
And then my fourth one, my sleeper, was Amy Sedaris, Palamoto.
Yeah.
They're definitely, she's going to pop up in everything. She's going to be, like the little chipmunk from She-Ra episodes. She's going to be in everything. You're going to see her pop up, I think, a lot.
I think she's going to be the connector for all the episodes.
Right.
I like that. I didn't even think about that. Cad Bane, I love Cad Bane. Let's talk about. I don't
disagree with Cobb Vanth either, but I just think that those three were really
pushed a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Cobb Vanth here real quick. So we'll skip ahead to the end, and if you haven't watched this yet, you guys should know that when we do these, there's spoilers. If you didn't watch the last, he was in the Bacta tank, showing he didn't die. We knew he didn't die. So to me, Cobb Vanth was the best gunslinger in the universe. And I'll tell you why. He was single-handedly keeping the spice trade off of at least his route on Tatooine. And if you notice, he scared the Pikes. He didn't even draw his gun. And he scared them off. The only reason he got shot was because he was trying to save Deputy Dipstick. Because he was trying to go after Cad, and he was worried about saving him. I think he would have taken Cad. I really do. I think he might have.
Cad Bane's the baddest man in the universe.
He is, but I think Cobb
in a gunfight.
I think Cobb might have taken him though.
Think you would have got him in the quick draw?
I think he might have.
Well, we didn't see
he's younger.
We saw some of his quick draw. We didn't see a lot of it. And I know Cad's is well documented.
Right.
Yeah, you just think about all the people that Cad Bane bested.
Oh, Jedi, left and right.
Yeah, every Jedi, maybe, I think other than Yoda, maybe, at some point he
bested all of them. Yeah.
Obi-Wan, Anakin, all of them. Ahsoka. But it wasn't a gunfight. It was just him being an amazing bounty hunter.
That's true. And the thing with Cad is he's smart. He's exceptionally smart. And
I wish they would have had his little droid.
Oh, I do too. I would have loved that. But the whole reason I think that, to me, that Cobb has the edge right now is just the age thing. I think that's where he's going to get him. I have a feeling Cad Bane is going to show up in Rangers of the New Republic. That's my guess right there. I'm calling that right there.
How many years out are we looking in the timeline for that? Because he's getting close, age-wise, he's getting close to the life expectancy of his species. But he is, enhanced.
Well, I have a feeling Rangers of the New Republic's going to be right after this. Because if you remember, I don't remember his character's name, the dad from Kim's Convenience, the X-Wing pilot, he showed up again. I have a feeling he's going to be another connector for these shows.
Well, aren't they potentially bringing back Cara Dune now?
Yeah. They're in talks. Which, honestly, do I agree with what she says as a person? No, not but to each their own. But she was probably in season 1 my favorite character.
Right, and that's the thing. There, you can go back to anybody, anywhere, and somebody has said something stupid.
Right.
So I agree. I think she brought a lot to the table, and I don't think it's worth the cancel culture that was forced on it.
And again, that's going to be another episode we're going to do is cancel culture, and we're going to be very careful about it, so we don't get canceled. From all 15 of you that's listening to us. But I don't know. I think that there's going to be some main connectors. I think that this is going to lead directly into Rangers of the New Republic. I have a feeling. Oh, go ahead.
You also got to remember that I think that at some point in the Ahsoka, as she teams up with Sabine to go find Ezra, I think all these people come into play at some point, either to help or a background or something.
Or hinder too.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's like I am so excited about the Ahsoka with when they announced Sabine and Ezra. Like, I'm so pumped about that.
They haven't said who Mary Elizabeth Winstead's playing, have they?
I thought they did. All right, why don't you look that up? So one of the things that
tabs open now.
Okay, BRob, you might be. I always mispronounce her name. Like, surprise, I know, right? Was it Dr. Apra? Dr. Afra? You know how to pronounce it?
I thought it was Apra.
Apra?
I thought so.
I was disappointed we didn't see her in this series. I swear we are going to see her at some point, though. There is no way we can't at this point. Mephisto. So that's going to be my new Mephisto. We might see Mephisto. It is the same universe.
Now you're going to get ahead of me on it. I'm not even going to be able to. Damn it.
Yep. No, beat you to that one. BRob beat you to it, actually.
I know.
It says Mary Elizabeth. I couldn't figure out a good way to like wind it in backwards, so I had to just come out and say Mephisto. No, they haven't said who she's going to be.
I haven't said yet.
They're doing a good.
Natasha Bordizzo is Sabine Wren, and then Ray Stevenson's coming in as a villain.
The way who they haven't said.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
They're doing a good job of keeping the cast on, like keeping some of this under wraps. Because if anything gets out and it's half-ass confirmed, IMDb is going to have it, but they just have one episode right now, so
yeah,
that's good.
Well, and they have confirmed Thrawn too.
I really hope that he's not playing Thrawn.
I hope he's not either. Thrawn,
he's an amazing villain,
right?
But Thrawn needs to be
British,
almost like a Mads Mikkelsen type guy.
Yes,
and he's already been in the universe. But.
Yeah. But we know Marvel is notorious for recasting. Look at Minerva on Captain Marvel, who became Cersei.
Yeah.
They're notorious for doing that. So I don't know.
Michael Fassbender would be a really good Thrawn.
Oh, he would be a great Thrawn, wouldn't he?
Did Lars Mikkelsen voice him in one of the Mikkelsens?
Thrawn?
Mm-hmm. In something.
It would have been in Rebels.
Yeah. So there's your Mikkelsen.
If it was, I don't know who it was though. He was great in Rebels. Like, he was one of my favorite characters in Rebels. Rebels is such a great series. Did you ever watch that one?
Nope, I'm still working through.
He's starting Clone Wars, by the way. BRob.
Yeah, for like the 18th time. Yeah.
But we told you have to get to halfway through season 2. Then it's all uphill from there. But
I'm almost through season 1. Like when I got time, I'll sit down and I'll crank out like 4 or 5 episodes.
It's rough.
Or 2 or 3 episodes, I guess.
So, okay. Book of Boba Fett. Let's talk about the last episode.
There's something that got semi-confirmed in that, or I guess you can say confirmed, that something that we always thought, and then that just those Pikes are assholes.
Pikes are assholes.
Those asshole Pikes.
That's why they're such great villains.
Just ruining everything.
Yep. Was really cool.
Nobody stole anybody's girlfriend in this episode.
Okay, now we're going to do that route.
But it was great. We got to see the Pikes without their helmets too in this. Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
Like you said, I feel like you got to see all the other crime families in it, and you got to see so many other species. Right. So I thought that was really good.
It was great. And then
I did like how they made it a dive into the crime families without going stereotypical like mafia style crime family, because that would have been an easy route to style it after that, but it stayed within the theme of the show really well, and I was glad that happened.
So was a little disappointed we didn't see anything about Black Sun in this last episode, because we were seeing the other crime families, So I would have thought we would have seen something because, Black Sun has a tie to Rebels, and Sabine and Ahsoka both have the tie to Rebels. So, maybe we'll see him there. But Black Sun's a huge crime syndicate. Like, is it Prince Visor? You remember BRob? Was the head?
I do not.
I can't remember. I think it was Prince Visor, though.
I really thought that we would see the twins one more time before the episode.
I'm kind of glad we didn't.
I'm glad we did. I mean, I wasn't a fan of them, but I'm really surprised that we didn't see them again because it was like, here they are. Okay, now they're gone. Like,
So, okay. So the female, one of the twins, the female Hutt.
Yeah.
She reminded me of Bill Dotrieve's cousin in King of the Hill. You remember him? I remember
him. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was the Southern gentleman, always fanning himself.
oh,
That's right.
So, that's the first thing my mind went to, and I just started busting up. But I don't know, BRob. So Kyle and I talked about this last episode. I don't think the twins could have had the potential to be really great characters, in my opinion. But I think for me, a lot of that got ruined by the CG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they would have made them puppets, it would have completed it a lot more for me.
Well, that's why Grogu works so well.
Yeah.
If Grogu was CGI,
yeah,
no way it'd been as well received because a puppet is a shit ton cuter and more relatable than a CGI mini Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Zizor.
And I'm going to rehash what we talked about last episode. That was so much of the charm of the original trilogy and part of why I think it holds up so well. Like some of the stylistic choices, you can tell they're aged with uniforms and things like that. But the creatures being real, the practical special effects that were used seem to have held up a lot better than some of the CGI special effects from the prequel trilogy. And that wasn't that long ago. Yeah.
That's what
it just holds. And I don't know if that's just me and our generation and us growing up with Sesame Street and Muppets and Dark Crystal and all
Labyrinth
and all that stuff that, that's just ingrained into us to we love.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, one of my favorites.
We love that. And I say every time anything new live action comes out, give us more practical effects because they seem to stand the test of time. If they're done well, they can stand the test of time. And that's shown in the original trilogy that they were done well and they stand the test of time. They still hold up. They still look good.
Well, and even with the new version of the Dark Crystal, I mean,
Age of Resistance.
I mean, I feel like they just, like you said, I don't know if it's because of, our generation and what we grew up on, but because, my kids just think they're creepy.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, when we were young, they were creepy as hell, but still awesome.
Right.
The Gelflings, I mean, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, they've turned into, after they completed the crystal, they turned out okay.
You're probably wearing some of their clothes.
You see? Yeah. Shut up. Maybe. Yes, I am. They make good clothes. I agree with you guys. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of our age and the nostalgia of it, or if there's just something more magical about someone hand building the puppet, making it come to life, doing what did Matt Parker?
I thought you were going to say something else.
What'd you think I was going to say?
I think there's just something magical about someone's hand up the ass of a puppet and just manipulating it.
That's kind of where your hand just went.
Yeah. In the butthole.
I got to
not the first or the last time that has happened, BRob.
Well, the other thing about the Hutts, though, is, the twins weren't referenced a whole lot.
No.
So, the only other one to me that would have made any kind of sense and impact, but it's out of the timeline, Zero.
Yeah.
But he's already dead by then.
Is he, though?
I thought so. I thought
We thought Boba was
I thought,
dead.
I thought Cad killed him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cad did, but you know what I mean, though? Like, is he dead?
Well, you never know. Yeah, you
Yeah.
never.
Like, how many dead people have came back to make appearances?
We're gonna know
again?
when Mace Windu comes back with swinging his purple lightsaber.
Mhm.
So, okay, let's talk about that. That brings up an interesting
Purple is
one.
more light purple.
Light purple. So
He can bring his bad motherfucker wallet with him.
he is too. Again, this episode is about the last episode of Book of Boba Fett and the ramifications on the universe as a whole. There are theories going around abound that Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson, survived Order 66. And if he comes back in one of these series, either Rangers or Ahsoka, he's going to be not really Sith, but maybe like dark side Jedi, but not full Sith. Like, there's a lot of rumors swirling about that all around the internet. You know, of course, the rumors.
A Jedi with a chip on his shoulder.
Literally.
Rightfully so.
So, I mean, what would you guys think about if Mace came back? What do you think what would he be? What would his attitude be?
I guess it depends on where in the timeline, like what series.
Right.
But if he came back now in the current timeline, like Book of Boba Fett, I don't know who he has to be pissed at because they're all dead.
That's true.
So, I mean, he can be all pissy, but why?
He could just be
So, I mean,
pissed off old man.
Yeah, but I guess I could see him coming back if being mad at Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Or, or Palpatine's back, I mean, I guess, again, I think it just depends. The crucial point for me is what series he comes in and where it makes sense. And I can't think of anything that has been said where it may, even the Obi-Wan series, where it makes sense for him to come back and what impact he could play. Because there's no way, in my mind, realistically, he's the guy that helped Grogu escape. He's not going to recover that fast unless he got thrown into a speeder full of pillows. So,
Tank delivery truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
what do you think, Kyle?
I could see. Okay, well, I mean, if they do it right, they can make anyone come back. And you've got so many fan favorites, and this series showed, like, you have to do it right, or you're going to, turn off some fans on lots of things. You're going to catch a lot of flack, which anything they let out, they're going to catch flack on. Doesn't matter if it's the greatest thing ever. People are going to be pissed about something with it. But if they do Mace, they'll have to do it right. If they brought him back in this timeline and they're wanting to do the grouchy old man angle, I mean, I could see it. Like, he could have a misguided anger towards Luke solely for the fact that Luke is Anakin's son. I could see that angle, but I also can't see him coming back too much later than now. One, because he'd be able to shit. Possible, but I would think Luke would sense him if he's anywhere remotely close to him. I think Luke would be able to sense or know or have some type of inkling, like there's someone else out there.
Kind of like Ahsoka and Luke found each other with the Force.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But they leave enough things open enough, and they're kind of taking that little note from Marvel of leaving things just open enough to where they can, I don't want to say like shoehorn things in, but they can. It's open enough where they can work things in if they decide that they want to do it. And they're leaving themselves plenty of outs to be able to do that. And they're not above retconning shit either. So,
nope.
It's just got to be done right. And like the Ahsoka, that was done very interesting. And I don't remember hearing a whole lot of outcry about it. When when Ezra pulled her back through, and then she ended up being alive. But it would really have to be, I mean, maybe it is an Ahsoka, and maybe he's a guy that's helping Ezra somehow. or hindering Ezra, or who knows? Maybe that's where it plays. I don't know.
Maybe that's
where
where
running
Mace.
through the. Yeah.
Oh, so you're thinking maybe Mace escaped where Ezra escaped to?
Well, so I'm just thinking as she's looking for him at some point, Mace has gotten off course and on a back world, Ezra somehow ends up there, and Ahsoka comes across Mace. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what series it really makes sense for an impactful character like that,
right.
and to pay that kind of money to have Samuel Jackson come in for it.
And that too. I mean, they got the money to do it if they
he
want to
did.
do it.
He did say he would do it for nothing, though. He would come back.
Really?
Yeah.
So here's one thing that I thought I was thinking of before we got into this, and this ties into the Mace theory and on some backworld planet, that I know that some people get upset, like when things happen in the series, in the movies or whatever, and they're like, you kind of get into that. Well, how did this character not know that happened, or how did this happen without anybody knowing?
Right.
The scope of the series, I'm talking to Star Wars as a whole, it seems small because we're watching it on a screen, and they can, make the jumps and end up in systems super fast, and it seems like everything is really close, right? It seems like all these locations and things, when you're just watching it, are really close. It's a massive system. I mean, even when you're talking about like the Outer Rim and things like that, there's absolutely no reason why something could happen on some back world planet and nobody knows about it. Like, it's totally within the realm of possibility. And so there's so many things that can be told, so many stories that haven't even been written yet, that somebody could pull together and come up with, some random offshoot thing that, Boba did. Like, they're really right now, I think, that are playing the hand of the things that are familiar. That's why we're on. That's why Boba never left Tatooine, to bring him back in. That's something familiar to keep some of these first series going along. But I think as time progresses and more of these shows come out, we're going to see a lot of things from systems and things further out. Stuff like, well, how did we not know that happened? Well, it's because it was so far away. Geographically is not the right word, but I think you know what I mean. Celestially? I don't know. But that's why you didn't know. And so there's so much room to play with that. That's where I think you could have things happen like with Mace hiding on some planet we've never even heard of, or we've heard of, but we've never seen.
I just thought of something. It's going to be Mace. He's going to be like the Rob Schneider in the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd. Mace was hiding in the food bot the whole time. You want fries, motherfucker? Like, I think there's something wrong with. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with this droid.
That would be great. He just popped out of some food cart.
Like, correct change only, motherfucker.
Mace Windu, and he's like, hot fries, motherfucker.
We need to make that a shirt. Hot fries, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over a little bit about the last episode.
Okay.
It was the penultimate, or not the penultimate. It was the finale.
Mm-hmm.
We had the final battles. I want knee rockets now, like Boba had. That was awesome. You got to admit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's all about taking back everything. And then, you find out that all the little crime families there on Tatooine betrayed Boba. And Boba wasn't surprised by it. He's like, that's a smart move, if you remember.
Yeah.
But they attacked everyone. Okay.
He wasn't angry. He was just disappointed.
He was disappointed. So when they attacked, I can never say his damn name. So we'll just come back. Black Chrysanthemum. How many damn laser shots and axes can this Wookiee take and still be moving and lifting up his blaster?
I really thought he was going to go down.
I didn't
think he was making it through it.
He pulled through, though. My theory, he's hopped up on some weird Russian heart medicine, and that's really helping him like plow through this. Like,
Russian heart medicine.
It's relevant.
It's relevant.
Olympics. Anyway.
Yeah, I got it. Oh,
Okay,
I got it.
That was awful.
That was terrible.
He was doping.
Hey, you know what? Ghostface, Ghost Rider's a ghost too.
He is a ghost. What's a ghost, Kyle?
What?
What you said on the Celestial episode? Ghost Rider's a ghost. I'm like, he's not a ghost. What did he say? Like a ghost is just a demon with issues.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, something like that.
I don't know. A couple episodes ago. I can't remember what I did this morning. So
I wanted Dane Whitman to slit my throat with the ebony blade.
He said you suck.
it's fine. That's fine.
So, okay. I am disappointed.
You gotta have your own show.
Okay, see ya.
Later, I'm out.
We're not going to stop you. I was disappointed the Gamoran guards went out like so easy because I really liked them. I don't know why, but I liked them.
But when you look at them, like I didn't want them either, but I didn't want the mods to go.
No.
I didn't want Black Chrysanthemum, whatever the hell his name is.
See, he's Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, didn't want Fennec, so
No. I liked the mods. There was a lot of hate for them, but I liked them.
I liked them.
Like what? Okay, what did you like about them?
I felt like it kind of brought back that almost the parental family thing that Boba had with the little Tusken.
Yeah,
and just how he tried to take care of them. He was looking out for them in a lot of ways nobody else had. And granted, he did that for a lot of people in Mos Eisley, or was it Mos Espa?
It was Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley. The other one was Freetown. Yeah.
Yep.
But Mos Eisley. So I just thought they brought anytime you have young characters, I feel like that's like a olive branch to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Trying to get them into Star Wars. So.
Do you think they'll be back?
Yeah. I think everybody who was part of his squad will be back, even if there's not a full another Book of Boba. They'll play into the Rangers or Ahsoka
Or something.
Or Obi-Wan.
See the mods being some like mercenary squad or
I think the only person you will really see in Obi-Wan is maybe Motto, because she's kind of older, and then maybe the Doctor.
Because what's the time period of Obi-Wan? It's right in between 3 and 4, isn't it?
It's when Luke's a baby.
So it would have been in between 3 and 4.
They're going back to Tatooine again.
Yeah, because I bet, man, we're going to see Maul.
Yeah, no, they've already confirmed Maul.
Yeah, so
they have confirmed Maul, and
then we'll see Ahsoka.
Super excited.
So we'll see Ahsoka.
Ahsoka's going to be kind of a bridge too for all these shows.
I really feel like they wasted her in this one.
Oh,
other than the cute little stuff with Luke and I'm a family friend.
Yeah, you're just like your father.
Yeah, I don't. She didn't serve a purpose in this.
Besides being a courier.
Yeah, it was to sell toys. That's how I kind of looked at it.
Yeah, no, I agree. We had I found out the modder. He was modding Vanth at the end there. So which means he's gonna be a badass, even more badass. He's actually, I'm gonna argue with you on that one. The modder he's actually famous. I didn't know that. Did you guys know who he was?
No.
I didn't.
I read this the other day and I'm like, I can remember this. Now I can't remember the modder in Stephen Lee Bruner, who is also more famously known as the singer and virtuoso soul bassist Thundercat. And Many might recognize him from the music video of her song Dragon Ball Durag, which has garnered 17 million views on YouTube. So a lot more than any of our videos combined.
Yes. Good for him.
So just kind of cool. Okay, the infight scene I loved. I loved like the point of redemption on this. You know, Boba became like the hero of the people. What he kind of wanted to be, he grew into be a protector. Can we all agree the scene with the baby Rancor was phenomenal? Live
It was a
action.
little over the top, but yes, it was awesome.
It was.
Yes, for sure.
I did see this meme today that showed us as kids, and it showed someone laughing, and then the handler crying when the Rancor died.
Yeah.
And then versus us as adults now, and it showed them all shooting at the baby Rancor. And then it showed someone pointing and yelling, "Don't you dare hurt him." And I'm like, yeah, I was kind of yelling something similar at that point, though, too.
I liked that whole fight scene, like quite a bit.
With the 9 invulnerable spider droids.
Mm-hmm. But at the very beginning, when Boba and Mando were basically backed up behind, were they behind the speeder? And they're kind of cornered, and they were kind of
tank, wasn't it?
Was it?
No, that was later.
It was what the free people came in on. I thought.
Okay, so before that, when the fight first started, and they came out of
it was the land speeder.
Yeah, the land speeder. They're out of the destroyed cantina. I can't remember what it was called.
They killed Jennifer Beals.
It really gave
she was just about to dance.
Yeah, I know.
Like it really gave me that feeling of when we saw Mando go to rescue Grogu when he went to that little outpost, and it was kind of like the reverse of it in a way. Then they got backed into the building and they were fighting. Like, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it made me think of that. Like, oh, this looks semi-familiar. This kind of reminds me when Mando had that fight, and of course, the whole space western thing and making their final stand at the outpost. There was a lot of that. So, right. But I want to get that reminded me a little bit of that.
It was cool. It was a lot to me like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid when Boba and Mando went out for the final scene. You knew they weren't going to die. Okay, I'll put it this way. I knew Mando wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
I was not all the way convinced that they were going to keep Boba around. I really wasn't at that point. I thought he was going to go down in a blaze of glory.
So that blaze of glory that I thought Young Guns,
yep.
the big fight scene, that's what was going through my mind.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
I was waiting for somebody to get thrown out in a chest.
Pop out. God, that would have been awesome.
Or Boba going,
"I'll make you famous."
So I don't know.
See the size of that space chicken? Why ain't they killing us, Mando?
We in the spirit world.
Oh God.
I posted this meme in our Discord. It's the last chapter of Book of Boba Fett without spoilers. It's spoilers without giving away anything.
Spoilers without context.
Without context. And I thought it was super appropriate. Like when Grogu snuggled up. Okay, I will admit I went, "Aw," when Grogu was snuggling up with the Rancor. That was cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was yelling, "Kong!" when the Rancor was climbing the building. I was yelling that. I was yelling at the screen. I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is it was cool, but it was kind of corny. I think they could have done without that part to me.
So would you have rather not done without that part when he's cuddled up to the Rancor, or the one at the end when he's
But if we're going to,
Because they were both cheesy as hell.
They were cheesy as hell. But if I had to pick, I would choose to do without the.
But if we're going to be honest with ourselves and talking about corny versus that was cool or whatever, if we go back and objectively watch the original trilogy again, there was a lot of corny shit that happened. There was a lot of corny lines. There was a lot of cheesy.
Absolutely.
It was the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris was 40.
I was in my early 40s then.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, fuck off.
Yeah, working his way up to his first hip replacement.
First, this is my third.
Yeah. Star Wars is corny at times. I don't know if those were the right moments for it. There's times for corniness, like Amy Sedaris' character and some of her lines.
She was so good.
I think that's the Star Wars corny that we like, not necessarily, Rancor going full King Kong. And I don't know. It's fine. It's fine.
So I think we can all agree we knew that the people of Freetown would show up.
Yeah.
We knew that. Okay, I've got a serious question, and this is not a joke. Ending battle, buildings were blown up left and right? By the spider droids.
Yeah.
I swear those were remnants of the Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck material was that wall made out of?
Oh, when they're hiding behind the wall at the end?
Yes, because it was thinner than the buildings, but it withstood everything. Like, that bugged me so much. Just watching it, it's like this, but the building's gone.
Well, it was built out of the same plot armor that Black Chrysanthemum was wearing to protect him from the blast.
under his fur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his subfirmer.
Subfirmer
armor.
But yeah, I don't know.
They also seem to be wanting to make that young lady, this other sniper that was with Drast.
Yeah.
Or Drash, or whatever her name is. They seem to be making her a bigger character for when they do Rangers, I think.
I think you're right on that. So do you think that the modders are going to be part of the new Rangers?
I think they'll just be a resource. I think you'll see them that maybe they'll come in, hey, I can't remember what Boba's official title is, but Boba sends his regards.
Daimyo.
Yeah, the Daimyo sends his regards, and they make an exchange. I think you'll see them come in and out, information and stuff like that. But I don't think that they're going to be.
Leave Boba.
They're not going to be. They're not going to be Rangers.
No, I do see them making an appearance in Mandalorian.
Probably.
I do see that.
You think they go off world, or you think they come back to?
No, I think they'll go off world. Because he's going to need some help.
I thought they were cool characters. The only issue that I had with them was it was visual, and it's when they were riding their little modded mini speeders around that looked off to me. There was something about the visual of that I think could have been done better.
Just didn't sit with you.
It just didn't. They looked too shiny. They looked too, and like I know that they're going to treat him like a teenager with a hot rod, and they're going to, that's their baby kind of thing. But it was either the color schemes or how they moved. Something about it felt weird, or that they looked like Tatooine Power Rangers. I don't know if
Tatooine Power Rangers,
like
go lightsaber.
Yeah, like there was
Millennium Falcon formation. Go
Sarlacc Rancor. Our power. Yeah, I really did like the characters, and but that was a visual thing that something just felt off, and I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the ending real quick. When BRob brought up that it was the Daimyo.
Yeah.
The ending sentences that Fennec and Boba were talking about, this life isn't for us. do you think they're going to leave? I don't think he's going to go back to bounty hunting, at least the scummy bounty hunting. I think this is a really tough question to answer, to be honest with you, but I think they're going to end up leaving, or at least going off on Johnson. Like he's going to leave someone else in charge, just come back.
I think it was one of the things that they left open to where they left that to where he could leave because of that line.
Right.
I think that's one of those open things that's there that gives him the option. I don't know who he would leave it to though, because I mean, he saw what happened when you create a power vacuum. When you create a vacuum, there's nothing there. It's like it's going to fill with other bad shit. And so he's not going to put anybody else there.
Oh, he can leave his minor domo.
Well, maybe he gets rid of the crime system and it's a ranger station.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Well, they did wipe out the crime families.
Wiped out all the heads. I mean,
they wiped out most of the families, though. If you look at the kill count at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think they leave, and I think whether it's they meet up with a live action version of the Bad Batch, which I think we'll see at some point,
which would be awesome,
or I think he's going to feel like he owes Mando a debt, so they'll come in for any help, whatever trouble that Grogu and them get into.
Right.
And then I think that there's a possibility when Ahsoka needs help that she goes to Mando, and then Mando calls in a favor, and here they come. So I think there's, like you said, I think there's a lot of possibilities, but
I don't think he's long for the series. I mean, I think we're going to see an end to him at some point. So, I think you're going to have to.
He did say he would play any clone that they wanted him to.
Right. Well, I mean, I said we're going to see an end to Boba.
It's got to be Rex.
Okay, that was my next question. Okay, you already brought up the Bad Batch, which I hope we do see, because we don't know the fate of the Bad Batch.
They all survive, and we just get like a whole season of Tamura Morrison just talking to himself. It's just like a half an hour.
It's the Tamura Morris show.
Well, I guess if he wouldn't take his helmet off, it wouldn't
matter.
Yeah.
So I hope we do see the Bad Batch, because I love them. Love to see them live action. Can't wait to see live action Rex, because we know he survives because he's in Return of the Jedi. Do you think we're going to see Omega? And if yes, what show?
I think we will see Omega. And I think when we see Omega, we're going to know we're close to the end of Boba living. I think that the moment that we see Omega, we're not going to see much more of Boba Fett. He's going to die soon after that. But I don't think he will die until he sees Omega.
Since he's the alpha?
Mm-hmm.
BRob?
Yep. Where did you see Rex in Return of the Jedi? I don't remember that. I'm still hung on that.
He's the old man on Endor. He is one of the guys. They've confirmed that it's Rex. They've said that it's Rex. Hold on, I'll find the picture and I'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think Kyle might be right on that. As far as I don't know that Boba lives long after, but I think he does see Omega. But I think when Boba's gone, I think definitely that pushes Fennec forward more into some role, whether it's a mother figure to Omega or something. I think
so. After the release of episode 6 of Book of Boba Fett, BRob, the comic came out the same day, and it had a lot of ties to it because they had who was Emilia Clarke's character? Can't remember right now. Solo. Kiara found someone who they're hinting at in the comics that's Omega. Called herself something different, brought her into the syndicate. So they're saying that could be Omega, but they're supposed to saying Kiara is supposed to be making an appearance again.
Right.
I've also
be a busy girl.
She's gonna be super busy. I've also heard rumors that they are going to retcon. So basically, 7, 8, and 9 never existed. That's the big rumor going around right now
Yeah,
on all the Star Wars stuff.
I don't see that happening though.
I hope so. I hope they go back and they do it right. And they do the twins. That's
I do
how it
too.
should have been done originally.
Yep.
Because then you can go so long off of that.
Well, you have Young Jedi Academy. You've got the Young Jedis. You've got the whole storyline you can do with that.
Luke's son. Yeah,
Wasn't Chewbacca's kid a Jedi too?
Lobaka.
Lobaka.
Yeah.
Because Lobaka was one of the classmates of
Jason, Jaina.
Yeah.
Jason's baby mama, the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. I hope they bring a lot of that in. I really do.
It just boggles my mind that they didn't, because it sets you up so far. And it was such a good. I mean, that 7-book series was such a good series.
Oh yeah.
And then you got just everything that happens after that with Jason's daughter and Han and Leia adopting her. It's just.
It was a great series.
I missed the boat. Instead, we got emo Kylo Ren.
Although I will tell you, seeing those in the theaters was magical for me. Because I enjoy Star Wars. Doesn't mean they were the best things ever. It was still fun for me.
Yeah. No, I enjoy them all in some aspects.
Yeah. But I completely agree with you. They completely fucked up on the way it should have gone. So, I mean, Kyle, what do you think?
I don't know if so I know the rumor that you're talking about. And I don't know if that rumor is spun out of like what you guys are talking about, that everything went in the wrong direction. The reason I don't see them retconning it and saying it never happened. I don't know how they could do it. I mean, unless they just rip the Band-Aid off and say, okay, well, that never really happened. Because for that to happen, that means Disney will have to admit, well, we screwed up. Because that's basically what that's saying. And I don't see Disney doing that.
I don't know. The mouse is, like I said, we all know the mouse is fond of retcon and changing stuff. So while we're wrapping it up here, like the whole Book of Boba Fett, I still don't get what the hate was for it. What was your favorite episode out of the whole series? Which book? Which chapter? For me, I'll start while you guys are thinking. It was 5, the one that Bryce Dallas Howard directed. And I think we can all agree, let's give her a movie. She understands the material. She gets it. That to me was probably my favorite episode. Even though it was hardly any Boba. It was just very well done, and it started setting up for the final episode. I think that's why I liked it so much. It was just good storytelling.
Yeah, I love 5, but it's got to be 6 for me because Cad Bane.
The appearance of Cad Bane.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, there are just so few characters that, for me anyway, and anything that you're just waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and then when they finally appear, like Ahsoka, she's one of my favorites.
Yep.
So and then I had Ahsoka and Cad Bane in the 6th episode. So I think it was that one.
So
but 5 was the best episode overall.
Period. Yeah. So let me ask you this: did you know? Because we didn't get to talk to you about this our last episode. Did you know it was Cad the minute, like not initially, but once he started getting closer? I did.
As soon as I saw the hat. As soon as you can make an outline of the hat,
you knew who it was.
The way he was walking like a gunslinger.
Yeah,
I knew because I started to set up, and it was
I did too.
Like one of those.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I was doing the and I will tell you, the people who are bitching online that Cad Bane is fat are the same people that were bitching that Fitty is $1 now.
Yeah, $1.50.
$1.50.
But this
How
fat
the
kid
fuck
likes
did you
cake
guys
too.
look 20 years ago?
Right.
You know,
Well,
you had a lot more hair, Kyle.
I had more hair.
A lot.
Well, I will say that when I first saw 50 Cent, my first reaction was, because I didn't hear the music, I wasn't paying attention. I was like, I thought Biz Markie was dead. So, but then I thought, I'll listen to music and like, hey, that's from the video. Because he's a big man.
He is a big man, but at the same time, if you watch, there is a video going around of him prepping. Is there up there? It shows him, pulling himself, doing the upside down thing. He's still in shape.
No, he's still
older.
jacked. He's just big.
He's just big. He's just older. We all are.
I knew it was from the video, but like even when I first saw it, I remember the video was like, shit, he's stuck. Like this.
Can someone help Fitty?
Somebody
Help Mr. Sand.
Snoop-a-loop.
For shizzle.
Yeah. Well, he's the tallest one, so he could help ease him on down. God, favorite episode. I was going, okay, before we started talking about all the characters being, because 6 was the big character introduction episode, or reintroduction, or live, however you want to look at it. It's where we got to see a lot of stuff. I was going to say 2 when he was spending all the time on Tatooine, or all the time training and stuff out in the desert and doing all the stuff with the Tuscans. Like originally that one, because that was cool. Mostly because we got to see little adolescent Tuscans and him connecting with them, and so I thought that was really cool. But thinking back on it now, after what BRob, like 6 was big because of all the introductions, and we got to see some of Grogu's quote unquote, if you want to call it training or remembering, whichever one, and getting to see Luke force drag Grogu around so he could keep up pace with him when they're walking through the woods. He would, like, when he lifted him up and
carried him on his back.
Yeah. Just that. It's either 2 or 6 for me, but just to be different, I'm going to lean towards 2. With,
we have 2, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I mean, they're honestly, I was pleased with the series.
Yeah.
I love Boba Fett. It was an interesting series to me. Like, Disney is not disappointing for me. Like, they're keeping it going. They're keeping that train going for me, keeping me interested.
Yeah.
Will I continue to watch? Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Whelmed.
Whelmed.
This is going to be tough. This was going to be a tough
Sure.
deal to get me super. But Cad Bane, and it just, like I said, if it would have been about pushing Boba Fett forward.
Yeah. I will definitely go with that.
But I still liked it. I mean, they haven't done anything that I dislike.
Right.
As a series, as a whole. But they could do even more if they would give Bryce Dallas Howard a movie. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we'll be seeing Mace in Multiverse of Madness. Maybe that's who was the bald character who was talking to Strange. One of the Illuminati.
We know who that was.
Oh, we know absolutely who that was.
The other interesting part for that one, though, is who are the other ones? Because I know who they should be.
Oh, I know who they should be, too.
But are they going to do that? But another question I was going to ask was, who do you think, because I don't know if you guys talked about this on the last episode, who do you think got Grogu out of the temple?
I think it was, what's her name? Because we saw her symbol on the wall.
Barriss Offee.
Yep, I think
but she died. They showed her she got shot and stomped.
She did, but they showed her symbol. That's the only reason that makes me think maybe it's her last dying thing. Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't even think she was on world. So I don't know. But that's
the only reason. That's the only reason.
That's who I think they're going to make it be. That's who I think they're going to make it be.
Yeah.
But We just need some. Lucy got some explaining to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Kyle, you're going to have a hard time with this one because you didn't watch Clone Wars yet.
I'm working through it. I'm getting there.
So
Making it happen.
I hope it's Shakti.
Yes.
Because she was one of the few that survived for a long time after the order was given.
Right.
So I'm hoping somehow, even though she wasn't there either, she was like on Camino.
She was on Camino, wasn't she?
Yeah. I thought.
Wait, was she on Camino when it got destroyed, though?
No.
She wasn't?
No, because she's the one that kind of helps Starkiller.
That's right. Okay. Well, unless they retcon that.
Right. But I would love to see her.
Yes.
Because she was the one that I wish they would have spent a lot more time on.
Right.
Anyway.
Kyle, what do you think?
Who I think got him off of there?
Mm-hmm.
I have zero theory on that. Honestly.
Just say like Chewbacca or someone, so you have someone.
It was
one of the Jawas, the porno Jawas.
Porno Jawas.
Whatever.
I'm trying to think of who would make sense to have actually got him off of there.
Bail Organa.
Yeah.
Could have been better.
Maybe. I'm just spitballing this point. I will tell you this: while Kyle's still pondering an answer here, the series I think that I'm not super excited about is going to be tough for me to get on board with is Andor.
Yeah, I'm going to have a tough one with that one too. And you see, they already greenlit it for season 2, which I don't know. I don't know about this one because it's all going to be about espionage and spies and stuff. Diego Luna was really good as the character, but it was because he was with what's her name, Felicity Jones. It was the chemistry they had for me that kind of made
they told that story, so
yeah.
I don't know that we need it. I don't need to know more about Caspian.
No,
he did. He was awesome. He died.
Yeah, and now it's just kind of like I don't think I need 2 seasons of it.
And he wasn't as awesome as the blind monk. So.
No, he was awesome.
Unless they pull something
one with the Force.
Like,
the Force is one with me.
Mid-season Boba Fett, where it turns into something completely different, introducing a bunch of stuff or carrying other storylines.
Right.
Which is
but that was set so far back from now. And then that's the other thing is them going back in the timeline. They're going to be filling in some holes, but that's going to be interesting to see how they jump around.
Right.
There could be a lot of Bad Batch stuff filled in there.
Yeah. Because they got a lot of Bad Batch story left. Like, I don't think Bad Batch is going to end with season 2. I think they're going to keep it going as long as possible. Kyle, do you think anyone, or do you want to pass on this one? Because I've got another question that I think would be super amusing.
Let's try this new question.
What current actor would you like to see in the Star Wars universe, and what kind of character? Either specific or a species. Like, what do you think what species of character you think they would do great at? And like, what would they do?
Want a serious answer, or do we want to go?
No, any answer you want, because I think it's a great one.
I mean, I already said Fassbender as Thrawn.
Which is, I think, it's perfect pick.
But as a species.
Or a character, or like, just what would they do? Like, would they be a smuggler? What would they be good at? Like a Rodian?
I think it'd be cool to see like Benedict Cumberbatch as like an Inquisitor, or doing some like bad role, like villain role. I think that would be really cool.
Inquisitors, which they did confirm for the new Ahsoka.
But
supposed to be someone in there.
God, who would be
Dwayne Johnson as the MC hype man for droid fights?
So he was my pick too. Except I would like to see him as either Zero the Hutt, because Zero's got a mouth on him. Am I wrong? Known for his gift to gab, or having The Rock as a talking Sarlacc pit. He goes,
Get
come
your
in my
smoke.
yeah, get in my mouth. Who you got, Kyle?
Okay. So
Or John Cena's anything.
I'm trying to think of
You can't
how
see
to
him.
word this. Michael Myers
Mhm.
as a Hutt that speaks common, so he's doing his fat bastard voice.
Get on my barge.
No, I would. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking more cameos. Like, cool.
It could be like that.
Like, I think it'd be cool to see like Bill Murray somehow in there, like as some like shady backroom like smuggler dealer trader guy.
Starlight or a card dealer.
Yeah.
I remember the name of the card game.
Just what? Starts with a B, doesn't it? Like Baccarat.
No, that's an actual game.
Thinking Baccarat. I know what you're talking.
Yeah,
I thought it started with an S.
I can't remember.
We could get
But Lando was really good at it.
maybe Vin
Yes.
Diesel as a speeder mechanic.
Hey, can you go get them? Who? Family. Chove. How about that, Chove?
Yeah, Chove.
Family. I don't know. I
I'd
just thought that.
like to see Matt Damon as Greedo, just so I could see him get shot. Because I just despise Matt Damon as an
Matt
actor.
Damon. Pew!
Matt Damon.
Or John Cena as a Jawa who gets it on with Amy Sedaris. He's just
See you
all
coming.
hairy. Yeah. Where did that go? You can't see that.
God, what would
I think
go-
Zendaya as like Barris or as the female Inquisitor
Yes.
could be good,
Night Sister or sister number like 7 or 6.
right? Or Hera, that'd be another good one for her.
Because we know Harris survived.
Tom Holland could be canon.
Oh, that would be
Kanan.
awesome.
Could be canon.
Okay, that would be. I didn't even think about her. I'd love to see her. I would love to see her.
Because I think they're already talking about. I can't remember his name. The guy who played Aladdin being cast as Ezra.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they talked about. I think they did cast him.
Mina Masood or
Whatever his name. Yeah.
yeah.
But I think he'll be a good Ezra because he kind of looks like him.
Yeah, I think he would be really good. Other than that, I think it'd almost have to be an unknown because I can't think of anybody that would really be.
Stand out.
This is kind of off.
Part of me
track.
wants to say Finn Wolfhard, but I just don't think he could pull that off.
This is something that's kind of off track from this line, but something that, if we're talking about things that we'd like to see, before we wrap it all up, I would love to see a storyline, something introduced that we have zero point of reference for, because everything that's coming out, we have a point of reference from the movies or from a previous series. Something that is completely unknown, right? There's no lore to go off of. There's nothing else. Something that is 100% fresh. Like it could reference events during the series, right?
Or like Tales of the Black Sun organization.
Yeah, something that we would have zero knowledge of anything. Something that's completely new that they could test the waters to spur things off in another direction if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I think that would be the real test of how good they can do these, because everything that's coming out is based off of source material that we've already seen in some shape or form. But something that's just outlying out there that's completely new and fresh, I think would be really cool.
So three of them that I would love to see. I've actually been thinking about this for a while. One, I'm looking at so Tales from Jabba's Palace. That was a book in 95. It was a great book. Tales of the Bounty Hunters book, because that told all about like Dengar, IG-88, all the bounty hunters that Vader assembled, or one with Dash Rengar in it from what was the Super Nintendo game? He drove the Outrider. Why can't I think of the name?
Because you're old.
Probably. Dash Rendar was from... What was the game?
Rebel Alliance. Is that the game? That wasn't the name of the game. That was... I'll tell you really quick here. I'll go to the old Wikipedia.
Yeah, look at that real quick. Do you remember BRob?
I don't.
I remember playing the shit out of the game. What game?
A lot of scrolling to get to
Shadows of the Empire. Because that's what introduced us to Princess Iser, too.
or just see some old Republic stuff.
Yeah. I am pumped about the High Republic.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him do more. Just continue to ferret out what happened with Ahsoka. I mean, I know they're going to, but I think there's just a lot that could go down there.
Right. Do you think Rex is going to show up in Ahsoka?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, I think all the anybody that was a character player in Rebels does.
So I'm
even if it's small.
I'm excited about that. I hope we see Chopper again. I really do.
Right.
So, any parting words that you guys want to leave anyone with about the Book of Boba Fett, where you think the series is going to go? Because I will tell you guys, it is almost 10 o'clock our time. We recorded this kind of late.
Yep.
And I'm fucking old and I'm tired.
And
I don't feel good.
Frankie.
So
My hip hurts.
my hip, Mortimer. So, well, Kyle, you want to do your? Well, I guess I'll do my.
You're gonna do your thing. You gotta do your thing first before I do my thing.
With that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerdom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle, and wherever you guys are, have a great night, evening, morning, whatever time it is. And thanks to BRob for joining us, our esteemed guest.
Always
And
great to have BRob on.
Always great to have him. And everybody just be good to each other.
Nerd
See ya.
Corp, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd Corp,